Simply Treasured. My name is Sheila. For those of you that don't know me, guess what? Click that subscribe button, like, share, all that good stuff. But today's topic is starting over at 55. Y'all, I am a fabulous 55, okay? And I am living my best life. And the reason why I say best life is because God is keeping me. God is sustaining me. He's providing for me. Even though in the carnal, it looked like, ooh, all hell is breaking out. But let me tell you something. With God, all things are possible. Let me tell you, the last year and a half has really been hard for me. I actually went through a separation and actually headed to divorce. And y'all, how many know divorce is such an ugly place to be in? It's so dark and you find yourself alone and you really find out who's really in your corner. And when I tell you nobody is really there but God, I mean, you can talk to your family, you can talk to your friends, but when you're walking in that arena by yourself, oh my gosh. Y'all, I have to totally pray and just seek the face of God and just really depend on him. And even when sometimes it look like he's not there, man, I be trying to keep it all together. I'm like, woo, Lord, keep my mental, okay? It is not easy being in a separation and heading for divorce. Now, like I said, I left my husband about a year ago, and let me tell you, it definitely was not an easy decision. Because when you get married, you're like, you know what, this is supposed to be until death do us part. And a lot of times it's not like that, and it takes two in a relationship. It takes communication. It takes effort on everybody's part. Okay. So sometimes you get comfortable and sometimes you get in your moods and sometimes things just don't work out. Finances, whatever, it just don't work out. And I have nothing bad to say, but it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about myself. Now, sometimes as women, we get into relationships or marriages or whatever, and we find ourselves losing ourselves. We find ourselves being more dependent or codependent on that mate that we're with. And so we begin to lose us as a woman and we begin to lose our identity. But you know what? We can't do that because at the end of the day, I always say that at the end of the day, let me tell you, if you lose you, what do you have? If that person or that significant person that you're with, say for instance, they pass away, what do you have for you? What is left for you? Who are you? So you have to find yourself. Y'all, I'm preaching to myself, okay? I'm like totally preaching to myself here because I did that for years. I wrapped myself up in my children, in my husband, and I forgot about me. Y'all, I gained all this weight. I was like 300 and something pounds. And I got to the point where I had to be on a walker, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? My health was deteriorating while my husband was up doing his own thing. You moving around like, hey, Y'all, I lost me. My husband loved to cook. And so therefore, I was eating. I was comfortable. I didn't have to work for 10 years. But in the process, I lost me. And so when I had all these health issues coming about, I was like, God, you got to help me find me. And I said, I got to be able to have my own identity. I do. I got to get me back together. I got to do self-love and self-care on me. And you know what? Sometimes that's hard to face is finding out who you are and who you are in Christ. Y'all, let me tell you, I don't care how much people say Jesus ain't real, God ain't real. You know what I'm saying? He's been real to me. He's kept me in my whole 55 years. And life has been hard. But I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm still pushing. I'm still believing. Guess what? I'm doing it, y'all. But I'm doing it through him. And so that's not to say that I haven't had setbacks. I haven't made bad decisions because I have. And some of those decisions that I've made, I've had to live with those consequences. You know, I found myself gravitating towards other people, or should I say other men, for comfort and friendship. You know what I'm saying? And then here I go again, losing myself again in somebody else because I'm looking for love in all the wrong places. When I should have kept my focus on God and kept my trust in Him rather than my own fleshly desires and what I wanted. You know, I wanted to look like that trophy person on somebody's arm. I wanted to be that socialite and all of that. None of that means nothing, because at the end of the day, I'm still standing by myself, but I'm standing by myself with Christ. Let me tell you, with Christ, all things is possible. And y'all, let me tell you, it ain't been easy. It ain't been an easy walk. That's why I'm on YouTube. I'm sharing my story. I don't have to put myself out there, but I'm putting myself out there to be able to help somebody else. I've been in a relationship with a narcissist. I've been in a relationship with a minister. I've been in a relationship with other people in my life, in my past. And let me tell you, with all the abuse and everything that I went through in my life, God has kept me through it all. I could have lost my mind, but it was God that kept me pushing, that's keeping me here for a reason. Y'all, I went from a 3,000 square foot house to a 500 square foot apartment. I had a husband that took care of me. I had a husband that provided. I had a husband that paid all the bills, that did everything. But at the end of the day, let me tell you something. You can have all of that. You can have the big, beautiful house, the big cars. You can have everything. You can have the money. You can look like you the trophy wife and you got it all together with your BBLs and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's what's on the inside of you. Because you know what? It's about you. It's not about what you have. You can have a house, but I want a home. That's what I want. I want love and peace in that home. I want to be able to know that when I turn my key, I got my mate there that's going to love me for me no matter what. But first, I got to love me. If I can't love me, I can't love nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, do you hear what I'm saying? Here I am in this 500 square foot apartment. Y'all, apartment. If you go back and look at my video, you will see my apartment. It's so cluttered because I got a lot of stuff because I like stuff. And guess what? I still got stuff everywhere else. But I can't bring none of that stuff here. But I'm content and happy where I am because I have a peace of mind. I have God. It's not easy. I'm telling you, because sometimes these walls be talking. Especially for a person like me that's an empty nester. But now I got my daughter and my grandson living with me. And guess what? I don't mind that because I'm helping them out. If we got to be crammed up in here like sardines, y'all, we're going to be crammed up in here like sardines, okay? So I don't have a problem with that. But what I'm saying is, at 55, God is keeping me. He's changing me on the inside. He's changing me so much. I learned to love him even more and want to search and find out who Jesus Christ really is. Y'all, and he's doing it for me. So, with that being said, y'all keep pushing, keep searching, keep loving, keep doing self-care on yourself. Keep your identity in who you are. Keep your identity in Christ, because he's the only one that's going to be able to help you. Ain't no man, ain't no sugar daddy, ain't no woman going to be able to keep you, not unless you want to be kept by God first. You got to be able to know who he is, to be able to love yourself, and to be able to love somebody else. Whew, y'all, I could be sitting here crying, because when I say that God has totally kept me, he's kept me. He's kept me more than I thought he did. And y'all, he's doing it for me. I may not have everything that I want and everything that I need, but he keeps me. He keeps on keeping me no matter what. It's very easy for me to look at things that I don't have. You know, I don't have a bank account with savings and all of that. I don't have a retirement. I don't have any of that. Y'all, I'm waiting on my next job. I'm waiting on these folks to call me and tell me when I start. But it's God that's keeping me. It's y'all, life, like when I say in my previous videos, life be lifing. Y'all, life be lifing. You know, the enemy's job is to come to kill, steal, and destroy. That's what he does. If you don't recognize that, you'll be lost. So I'm dependent on him. I'm dependent on God to bring me through until the end of my life. 55 ain't too bad. You know what I'm saying? I've hit the halfway mark. You know, I got grandkids looking up to me. I have my kids looking up to me. You know, they're doing their own thing. But now I've got to find me. I gave them the word. I gave them the resources that they need to go out there and make their own way in life, whether it's good or bad. I did my part as a parent, as a mom. I did that. But now it's time for me to find me and love me and put me up here. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all, it's nobody but God. Nobody but God. Nobody but God. You know, when you know better, you do better. And so, like I said, my life ain't always been peaches and cream. You know, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I wasn't. But you know what? I will not let my past hurt, my past trauma, my pain, my disappointments, my abuse, I will not let that define me. I will not let that rejection define me and hurt me and take over me. Rejection is hard. It is so hard. But it takes forgiving. It takes finding out who you are to be able to make it, to be able to get up over those hurdles on those mountains and those storms of life. But most importantly, it takes God to bring you through it. So my sisters and brothers, let me tell you, whatever you are going through, whatever you are facing, guess what? There's always somebody else that's worse off than you. Just know that God has you. If you open up your heart sincerely to him, guess what? He will come in. And I used to have a problem. I used to be like, you know what? I believe in God, but guess what? I don't see him. He ain't here with me. He ain't here with me. When you get through, I'm looking at these walls. Is he here with me? And I would have to cry out, God, are you here with me? Do you hear me? I've had to be on the floor, literally snotting and crying out to God to reach me, to seriously reach me when I thought I was lost, when I thought I was nothing. I really thought I was nothing at one point in time in my life. But it was God that stepped in at that time and loved on me and wrapped his arms around me. What I was feeling, he gave me confirmation. I had people speaking to my life and things that I was feeling on the inside and nobody knew. God used them to tell me. Yeah, excuse me. But when I say he did it for me, and I'm still a work in progress. I still got things that I got to work on. But I'm trusting him no matter what. So y'all keep your head up. Trust God no matter what. He'll do it for you. He will totally do it for you. Y'all, I remember one time I was sitting at my daughter's house. I didn't have no money. Let me tell you. Sometimes it's just the small things. I'm sitting on the porch and I'm all like, I was going through, y'all. I had a breakup in a relationship that really troubled me. So I'm sitting there and I'm all like, man, I ain't got no money. I don't have no gas money. I don't have anything. This lady was walking down the street. I'm sitting there. Let me tell you. This woman came up to me. She said, I don't know you. She said, but God told me to bless you. I had my grandson right there. She had some cookies or something. She had just went to the store to go buy or whatever. Y'all, she ended up giving the cookies. She asked me, could she give the cookies to my grandson? Yeah, okay. She ended up giving me some money. When I tell you, I was blessed. And I had no idea why. But then all I could think about was God. God answered my prayer. Because y'all, I didn't have $1. I didn't have $1. And I knew this little black lady probably didn't have much. But God used her to help me. This lady ended up giving me $30. Do you understand me? $30. And some of you might say, that ain't nothing. But you know what? When you going through and you don't have nothing, let me tell you, God opens up doors and he sends people your way at a time when you doubt him the most. And that should be the time when you trust in him the most. Yeah. Let me tell you, God will do it. He will come at a time when you least expect him and when you going through the valley of life. Because I'm going to tell you, as long as you live it, you're going to go through the valley of life. You're going to go through the storms of life. But you ain't going to always stay there. You ain't going to always stay there. I got to be like David. And I got to encourage myself no matter what. When ain't nobody standing here but me. I got to encourage myself. I got to pick myself up. When I lost my job last week, and I kept saying, Lord, I don't know how I'm going to make it. I don't know what I'm going to do. Y'all, I cried for a minute. Let me tell you, I cried. I went through because I said, God, I ain't got a savings. I ain't got nothing. I'm working for paycheck to paycheck. But all I know is something on the inside of me said, keep pushing. I got you. And let me tell you that Monday I got fired. That Thursday I put in an application for a job. That Friday I went for that interview. This past Monday they called me for the job. I don't know when I'm going to start because I'm still going through all the paperwork and all that kind of stuff. But when I say it ain't nobody but God that opened up that door for me, baby, something better than nothing. I am not too proud to go out here and wipe somebody's butt. I ain't too proud to go out here and go pick up some paper. I ain't too proud to do what I need to do to keep my livelihood. But what I'm saying is it wasn't nobody but God. Nobody else. And it was me pushing myself to get up and look for another job. Because you know what? Ain't nothing going to fall in my lap. But I know you got to do the work. You got to do the work. So when it looked like all hell is breaking loose, guess what? God is behind the scenes. He already know what's going to happen. He already know. So you know what? God is doing it for me. And like me, he can do it for you. Keep trusting. Keep believing. Y'all keep stepping out on faith because he going to do it. Get in your word. Read it. So with that being said, y'all, I ain't staying on here trying to preach long, but I just wanted to get on here and share a little snippet of my life and what God is doing. And at 55, God is changing me. He's using me. I'm not going to let people define me. Because you know what? You ain't got a heaven or a hell to put me in. So, y'all, after all of that, let me compose myself. After all of that, keep your faith in God. Make sure that y'all subscribe. Leave me some nice comments. Share. All of that good stuff. And I will see y'all in the next video. Keep pushing, y'all. Keep pushing.